Basically, I tore this apart for a part that would have changed in the front of the engine without tearing all this out. I'm glad that I did because these piston walls are washed out.
Kind of try to escape. A couple have jumped out. I'm afraid that they could break a leg or something. So time to get them out to pasture as soon as we can.
We're two hitchhikers. We met while hiking Mount Baldy with mutual friends, wasted no time, got engaged on a frozen alpine lake, got hitched, and have been adventuring together since. We're embarking on a new adventure of living big in a tiny home. Let's see how this goes.
Adventure awaits.
What is happening here?
I did a thing.
Wow, wasn't expecting this after your meeting.
Yeah.
Look at you, you're official.
Official.
What?
Ruben is part of the local volunteer firefighter program, and he got issued his official gear after this last meeting. Because of Ruben's experience, his skill set is in high demand up here. We'll go into this explanation a bit more in the future. But right now, it's the Dodge.
Okay, so the time has come. I've determined that this truck is going to get all of my love and attention until we get it fully fixed and registered. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be pulling the engine and transmission out and basically just rebuilding everything because it's been sitting for too long and I have no idea what condition this motor and transmission is in, and I don't want to be relying on something that I have no idea if it's going to work or not. So instead of finding out, I'm going to fix it before it becomes an issue. Plus, I have the time now, which is very rare, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. So here we go. What's funny is that I actually have like all of the tools like necessary to do this job, but I'm using like the most universal tools just so that I don't have to keep on going back and forth to get, oh yeah, that's the right tool for this specific bolt. And it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna waste time. I'm literally rip this apart, pray that I remember where all the bolts go, and go from there.
What about your bagging system?
It's there.
Oh, okay.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a feel for how light this is, okay? See, you can move it.
I like how you use light and not heavy. How light it is.
No, really.
Not how heavy it is. Oh man.
Another one.
Another fire update. Maybe it'll say 100% contained.
Well, it should because the freaking smoke's gone.
You couldn't see anything when you went up?
Nah, I went up there and I didn't see nothing.
25% contained.
Hooray, that means
Less
it's
than
done.
2 acres.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's no wind today. I felt it shimmy.
Yeah, it shifted. Thank you. That's exactly what I was hoping to have. So, got it?
Okay.
It's starting. Now I gotta just get these motor mounts out of the way, and then bada bing, bada boom. Many thank yous.
So how's the progress going?
It's going good. I got the engine stand put together and I'm about to start ripping and tearing this engine apart. Cheers.
Nothing like work when it's 104.
So this is really heavy. This is all iron. So yeah, the fact that I'm able to put it all together and stay here safely, I appreciate it.
So modern engines are not this solid?
Oh no, not at all. This engine weighs as much as a motor and transmission on newer cars.
Got it. So what have you determined?
All right, so it's very good that we actually tore this engine down because my cylinder walls are washed out and my bearings are in the process of wearing down more than they should. Right now, these are still considered good rod bearings, made bearings, but we have a deep groove right here, which would eventually get even worse, and that would be a catastrophic crankshaft failure. But the main reason why we tore this apart is because I could not get this to time properly with the ignition and the fuel system. It was just running all kinds of weird, and I come to find out that the harmonic balancer shifted, so it didn't matter which angle I moved the distributor, because each time that I would use my timing light on it, the light flashes on the harmonic balancer, but that harmonic balancer has shifted, so it's not true to exactly the timing of the motor. So technically I tore this apart for a part that I could have changed in the front of the engine without tearing all this out. But I'm glad that I did, because these piston walls, as I'm about to show you, are washed out. And that would become an even bigger issue. So as you can see inside, that is terrible. That is not supposed to be that way. This engine sat for way too long and basically created a little puddle right there where it just grooved itself and loses compression at that specific spot where my light is shining. It is very, very bad, and we're gonna have to send this out to the machine shop to get bored out 60 over with high compression pistons and high flowing heads. Yeah.
This sounds highly suspicious all of a sudden.
That little galley that you see inside there, that's the bearing literally coming apart on the camshaft. So we're reaching a stopping point on this motor. I gotta send it to the machine shop, and I am at the mercy of their due diligence. So if it takes them really long to do it, that's as long as it's gonna take for me to put it back together.
Wasn't the last machine shop you had to take something to south of Reading? And
yeah.
It took him a long time.
It took him a terrible long time. So I'm actually going to try another machine shop in the general area now that I'm friends with people that live around here. And hopefully I get to be a little bumped up in the line, because this is a booty. All right. So upon further inspection, I was so excited about tearing it apart that I didn't really notice that. Oh yeah, there's a big chunk of metal that is missing here. This is supposed to be covered. It's supposed to have a little bridge that goes over this area right here and then connects to this right here. Basically, it's supposed to look like this. And the previous machine shop or demon of a person decided that, oh, I want to see this bearing and put that in, when they're actually supposed to put it in from behind and set it here. But no, they had to break this off so that they could do whatever hack job it is that they needed to do. So this block is toast. I can't use it. It sucks.
So we are now at the 3-week mark for the broiler chicks, which means that they will actually be able to go out to pasture within the next couple of days. And it's just as well because they are pretty aggressive, especially when it comes to feeding time. They are not timid at all. Like the egg layers are a little bit more docile, they're much more calm, but these other broiler chicks, they are just, they're meant to eat, and boy do they like to eat. So it's a little bit tricky sometimes for me to actually get in there, grab their water so that I can change the water, or grab their little feeders, that way I can give them some new food. And yeah, they kind of try to escape. A couple have jumped out, and they're not the most athletic. They're a little on the heavier side, so I'm afraid that they could break a leg or something. So time to get them out to pasture as soon as we can. You guys are cuckoo. Well, within the last week, we have had, I think, 5 or 6 wildfires break out in our area, and 3 of them were today. Last week, you could really see the plume of smoke going up over there, closer to the mountain. It was only a few miles from us. Today, I actually saw one of the big lightning strikes that caused a fire in the distance. It's about 10 miles away. Still, it's just unnerving. One was across the road. They got that one 100% contained, and now there's a new fire that is spreading, and it's at about 40 acres. So hopefully this wind dies down and we do get a good dump of rain. Yeah, there's no such thing as wildfire season anymore. It's just all year long, but unfortunately everything is very dry right now and overgrown because we had such a good precipitation winter. So yeah, everybody's just on high alert. And I guess it's good that we have a volunteer firefighter here at the household. Fortunately, he hasn't had to go out on any calls at this point, but yeah, such is life out here. Well, in addition to the projects that we get done around here, one thing we have to do is management of our landscape. It's a little bit more than just gardening around a house. So we still haven't been able to use the tractor, but I'm going through and weed whacking. This is my job every single morning, and I do it until the battery runs out. It is Saturday morning, and Ruben actually has a little bit of time to start to get some training in, because we do have a race coming up in November, and he hasn't gotten any training in whatsoever. So he's out doing that a little bit before it gets hot. I'm weed whacking, and I just noticed there is a doe out in the pasture. We haven't seen much activity from the deer in the daytime. They are coming around at night because we see where they're sleeping, where they're bedding down at night, because the grass is still tall and it leaves an imprint. But anyhow, it's pretty cool to see one right now. She is not bothered by my weed whacking at all. And this gnat is flying around my head. I'm like Pigpen right now. All right, with that, I'm gonna continue weed whacking because it is gonna get hot.
This is the end right here. And then we're gonna go this way.
It's gonna be small. They're lazy and they're not gonna go far.
We're using the Premier One shock or not charged fence, which has a smaller double weave at the lower part of the fence, specifically to keep smaller animals and poultry from escaping or entering. Right here, we're doing a preliminary setup to see how it exactly works.
It's live.
And we didn't exactly like that previous setup. The location of the A-frame chicken hut wasn't ideal, so we moved it and then reworked the charged fencing. Now we're going to have to come through here and trim back the grass just a little bit because these meat birds are on the clumsy side. We're also going to have to trim back the grass where it actually touches the fence because we don't want to create a faulty connection or charge.
So I like this, and now when we want to move them, all we get to do is move all of these and go
So we're semi-rotationally grazing.
Well, it is rotational because we're starting here and then we are rotating counterclockwise over there.
And we also want to say thank you to all of the awesome suggestions that we received in the comments. In fact, we're putting one of the easiest solutions for a bit more shade and protection from aerial predators. Thank you.
All right, it's time to move them. You guys are gonna be out of your cage. Get closer. Grit bowl, I need to clean this thing. These guys are so dirty. Look. Lift it up higher. Got it. Wow, that was fun. So we're gonna keep them in here for a little bit this morning just so they know that this is their new home. We have a little bit of feed in there and some water, and then once they calm down a little bit, we'll open up that hatch, and then this will be the area where they free range. So this is where we'll keep their grain, and then we'll have another water in here. We have a little something for shade, and also maybe some protection from aerial predators. So I'm going to be here today. They will not be unsupervised. So we're just going to see how this goes and then adjust accordingly. What a morning.
What a morning.
The chickens seem to be adjusting to their new home very well. It's actually quite incredible how much they changed from being kind of obnoxious inside the coop to having much more pleasant, yet still lively, dispositions. Already, we can see how important environment is in raising animals. There's definitely something to be said about free-ranging as much as possible. As most of you know, this is a huge learning curve for both of us, and it can honestly be exhausting. But we wouldn't have it any other way. Well, family, the update for the week is now coming to a close, but we're also going to be including some footage right here at the end of the recent thunderstorms and lightning strikes. If you want to stay a few minutes longer, please do so. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.